How's it going, everybody? I've been missing a couple uploads, and this is not good. I'm supposed to be uploading a 6-minute video every single day, and these 6-minute videos are about a random topic that I just talk about without any scripts, without anybody else keeping the conversation going. The goal for these is to become a better public speaker, right? I need to eliminate uhs, ums, buts, those filler words that annoy the heck out of you when you speak, and get rid of the stuttering, the reloading of your brain, the cueing of words. Get rid of all that. When I'm talking in front of this camera and microphone, it is putting my brain in a different state of mind so I become a much better speaker. So this topic, the 6-minute topic, I don't think it's going to become a 6-minute topic, or a 6-minute video. I say that, but they usually always go up to 10 minutes. I don't know how, but you get me rambling about a topic that I'm passionate about, easily a 20-minute thing. But the whole point of these videos is, yes, to get to that 6-minute time limit, but if I'm talking for too long, then I need to become more efficient at speaking, right? I need to become better at speaking to get to that 6-minute, but reel it back, say what I have to say in a manner that is concise, efficient. I keep saying the word efficient, but it really is the whole point of what I'm saying. Optimization. That's what this video is about. I've already done a topic about optimization, but I want to say it again, tying it into one of my favorite games as of right now, Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 is an amazing game. I can't believe I am young enough to not even know the absolute golden script writing that Steam was on back in the 2010s. I know it's a 2009 game, but that game, if it came out, if I was conscious, if I had a conscious mind when it came out, it would have changed my life because it is such a good game. And let me rewind a little bit back here. This is what I'm talking about. I need to become better at efficiency. I need to be able to take a viewer, take a listener, and guide them along a path. But what I'm doing is skipping around a lot. That's a great way to lose an audience and their attention. So whether you're here to listen to this topic or listen to me become better at speaking, I don't know. It doesn't matter. I appreciate that you're here. But I was born in 2005, so I had never got to experience the golden age of video games, right? That 2010 era where Call of Duty was at its peak. Steam was a little bit before that, but Steam was outputting some absolute bangers, one after another. TF2, Left 4 Dead, what do they got? Back 4 Blood, I think, is also Steam. There's another huge one. It's Half-Life. Holy cow. The Portal series, they could not miss, and they did not miss. Call of Duty was releasing banger after banger with the Advanced Warfare, the Black Ops series, the Modern Warfare series. They couldn't stop. And the video game industry as a whole, I would compare it to the AI age that we're in now. It was an exponential curve of growth. But unfortunately, to Moore's Law, which not even being able to apply here, it has to slow down at some point. And I think we're in that slowdown point right now. That's irrelevant to this conversation, but I don't think Left 4 Dead 2 would have changed my life back in 2009 as much as it would have now. And I'd like to say that because maybe if I was 20 years old, maybe, but I don't even think so then. But I've been playing Call of Duty Zombies for a long time. My favorite being Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It had a amusement park 80s style theme. I love the 80s. I love the amusement style park things. It was a perfect map in my opinion. I had played others, nitty gritty, kind of got boring after a while, other Call of Duty games, but that one stuck out to me most. I've held on to it the most. I've played it the most. And when it comes to optimization in these waves, if you're from the Call of Duty Zombies community, you know exactly what I mean when I say those rounds, those early rounds are like optimized the absolute frick out of. You were optimizing every single bullet in your mag, every single hit point that these zombies have. You are not taking like any losses in those early 5 to 10 rounds. It is imperative that you build up the biggest stockpile of cash in those early rounds to last you well over 60 to 100 rounds, right? I mean, I wouldn't be playing that long, honestly, but some days in my early childhood, no problem. We're going as far and as long as we possibly can. But when you have a zombie and you have a mag in your clip, you hit them a couple times in the chest, and then you melee. That's at least what it was in Infinite Warfare. You got $130 for melee kill, $100 if you killed them with bullets. So obviously every kill was a melee kill. You'd shoot down till they were one shot for a bullet, and then you'd melee kill, getting the maximum amount of money out of a zombie. You would be getting $500 out of a single zombie at round 7, 8, or 9. It was insane until you ran out of money with the mag or with the starter pistol. Then you'd get the next cheapest weapon, and then you'd do the same exact thing with that. You would optimize the absolute frick out of these levels, out of these zombies, out of these waves. And that's just what it was. That's just how that mindset went, because building that early cash was imperative to set you up for the rest of the game. Pivot to Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2, I was playing with a couple friends. They didn't introduce me to the game, but they're the ones that said, hey, try this game out for real. Because I played it a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. It's another zombie game. And I mean, it's got a cool map. You know, you spawn on top of a skyscraper and you're trying to, the whole campaign thing is like you're trying to escape on a helicopter, not a helicopter. Yeah, on a helicopter at the very end. I'm sorry to spoil it for anybody that hasn't played it. Came out in 2009. You should probably get on it. But the change of pace of Left 4 Dead 2 was very, very different. And what I mean by different, it flips it totally head to toe. It completely polar opposite of Call of Duty. And what I mean by that, there isn't a wave system. Though different game modes do give you wave systems, but for the campaign at least, and for just the gameplay of Left 4 Dead 2, you go through a procedural map where you're going from place to place and zombies spawn in those places, or you're clearing out zombies in places, and you get the guns for free. There's no payment system in Left 4 Dead 2. There's no way to buy or sell guns. You can't really sell guns in Call of Duty, but there's no perks. There's no, what else? No sliding. I mean, sliding's a different mechanism and irrelevant. But it is such a different approach to the zombie genre, and I appreciate it so much more after playing Call of Duty for so long that it's changed the way I think zombie games should be done. In Call of Duty, when you're optimizing every single bullet, it totally throws away the magic of being in a zombie apocalypse. It totally destroys the feeling of I am trying to survive in a zombie apocalypse. It turns each zombie into a tool, into a mechanism, into getting the most amount of cash to get the most amount of perks, guns off the wall, spin the wheel, whatever, get those early on in the game. But with Left 4 Dead 2, it doesn't matter. There is no meta. There's no strategy. You pick up a gun, and if you find, your favorite gun along the way, you can pick it up too. There's no cash. So you start on a starter room, great. That's pretty expected. You load up, you got med kits. That's another thing. There's no med kits in Call of Duty. You're at a static health the entire time. And if you get hurt, that's permanent. That's permanent until you heal yourself. There are temporary healing buffs, and there's similar ones in Call of Duty, but it's so different. It's so different. And I keep saying it's different, but I'll get into it, right? Call of Duty, it totally takes away from the zombie experience by optimizing every single bullet, and it turns it into a chore rather than a fun game. Left 4 Dead 2, absolute mass zombie horde coming at you with your limited bullets in your mags. With the pistols, you got unlimited bullets, sure, but that rifles are very overpowered, right? Your guns are overpowered. In Call of Duty, that is a lot of times in the later rounds not the case. The zombies are just so powerful. But in Left 4 Dead 2, your guns never lose meta-ness, if that makes sense. Your guns never lose relevance in their efficiency at taking down zombies. It's just, are they able to take down more and more zombies? The game, instead of making the zombies harder, it throws more zombies at you. And I think that is a perfect way to solve the whole zombie problem. Instead of making the zombies tougher and making it a chore to get rid of them, that Call of Duty has done with the Infinite Warfare zombies. Great game, I'm not dissing it at all, but it's just a different play style, that's all. What you do is you throw more zombies at the player, and the thrill, the dopamine rush that you get from more zombies coming at you and you having to keep up with just the sheer amount of force of just a sea of undead coming at you is incredible. That is never something that I've experienced in Call of Duty. It is so, you start the round, the zombies start trickling in, you have to strategically move around so they don't get behind you, but then once you've got them in a clump, they stop. Like, you just got them in a clump and you can just circle them forever. But in Left 4 Dead, like, there are special zombies like almost every single portion of it, so you can't circle around. They will mess up that rhythm. They've totally changed the way that people, like undead slowly walking towards you, behave. There are other things, other factors totally disabling that type of circling around the zombies. Plus, they're really fast. That's another thing. They're really fast and you have to get them before they get you. So that's another thing. I like Left 4 Dead's organization, that every gun you can equally find, equal probable chance. The melee is actually very satisfying. Call of Duty has satisfying melee too, don't get me wrong, but actually Call of Duty might win over the melee mechanics. Sometimes you kill them in front of you, but the other ones have a lower damage. If the outside of your swing has lower damage, I don't really appreciate that as much, but anyway, as I was saying, Left 4 Dead 2's organization is way, way better. You go through a procedural generated map. Sure, this is on the campaign, and Call of Duty doesn't really do a campaign for their zombies. They put in a storyline, yes, but it's not really the purpose of it. It's just round-based, see how long you can last, which, fair. They're two different game modes, two different zombie types. I get that. But Left 4 Dead being a dedicated zombie game, I guess they already have a couple points on top of Call of Duty. But the absolute mass of zombies coming towards you, instead of making the zombies harder, makes it such a satisfying experience. The thrill is there, and you never lose the fact that you're in a zombie apocalypse and you're trying to survive. When Call of Duty becomes very overproduced and you lose the fact that you're in a zombie apocalypse and you're just doing your thing over and over every round to maximize the amount of zombies that you get versus the amount of money you get out of them. Left 4 Dead just throws that out, says, hey, unlimited bullets on the pistols, limited bullets on the rifles, go ham, try to survive. That is beautiful in my opinion. I think it embodies what a zombie apocalypse should be and how it should be done. So fantastic for Steam for doing that. And like, thank you for giving me that experience, because all I've known is the Call of Duty loop, the Call of Duty Zombies loop. I'll call it that. But it's just, I don't want to say it's boring, because I'm a big optimization guy. I loved doing that. I loved going into every single round and seeing how many bullets it does take to kill a zombie. Around round 15, it takes about, 25 bullets just to kill one zombie before you melee them. A little bit too much, right? That was a lot of fun doing that over and over and finding out. And I'm not saying it's bad at all, because again, it's not the point. The point of the zombies is not just to kill zombies, right? Though I do think that should be more the purpose with a Call of Duty, right? Is to have fun, wave-based scenarios. And I'm surprised they haven't done more with the special zombies, but I think they are branching out into that. I haven't played anything past Infinite Warfare. So 2016, I think 2014 was Infinite Warfare's release date, if that paints you a picture of what games I've been playing. But yeah, Left 4 Dead 2, it keeps the magic of being in a zombie apocalypse without making me work hard, making it a chore to play it. And I found that it's been a perfect game to not relax on, but it's just a game that I don't need to invest a lot of time in. I can pick it up and play it with friends whenever. It's just that easy. Call of Duty, you need to learn the meta. You need to learn how to deal with the zombies. And like I said, you need to learn how many bullets you can put into them before meleeing them. And that just makes it, that makes you a little bit more efficient and gives you the edge that you need in later rounds. But newcomers wouldn't necessarily know that. You need to play the game a little bit longer. But with Left 4 Dead, it's just like, I pick up a gun. Does it kill zombies? Fantastic. If it doesn't do it that well, I switch to the next one that I find. I mean, there's a couple nuances in how to revive. The reviving is pretty good. You need to know what the bombs do, but it's really, everything functions as it should. A zombie dies when it dies. It doesn't have an extra health. It doesn't have lower health. The special zombies you do need to get a little bit used to, but you learn those really quick. But yeah, man, really great game. To recap it, Left 4 Dead 2 has encapsulated what a zombie horde game should be for me. If there are any others that I should try, leave a comment below. And as always, like and subscribe. My new goal for this channel is to beat one of my teachers in subscriber count. Eventually it will happen, but probably not soon, because if I keep putting these low effort videos out, low effort, yes, but passion, absolute maximum, in my opinion. So that's that. I'll see you on the next one, which will be coming out shortly, because I need to catch up on the last 2 uploads that I've missed. So see ya.